My grandmother always used to say that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So that you could listen twice as much as you speak. Some of the best things you can do is listen. Now, you don't only listen during year 1. Okay, you need to act. But what you don't want to do is come in as Mr. or Mrs. Know-It-All that refuses to listen. I love James 1:19. It's on your notes. And I chose to put it in the Message version. It says this: lead with your ears, follow with your tongue, and then let anger straggle. Now, aren't those 3 good things? If we could just get those right in our life, right? To lead with your ears, and then follow with your tongue, and then let your anger straggle. It's super easy to get that flipped, right? I get angry, right? I go off at the mouth, and then I listen. There are a lot of Bible verses and a lot of points that have to do with listening. My grandmother always used to say that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So that you could listen twice as much as you speak. In listening, you learn the hearts of the people you work with, and you allow them to learn about your heart, right? When I listen, I begin to understand my people, and they begin to understand me. Number 6, I learned the church, and I listen to their stories. I learn about the church, is what I should have saw. That's a typo. I'm sorry about that. Number 6, I learn about the church and by listening to their stories. Now listen, you can do all the research you want in the first 12 months. You can study that church website, right? You can try to get the pastor to download as much as he or she can. But at the end of the day, you just got to listen. You got to pull people in the room. You've got to have people over. You got to go out. You got to invite people to coffee and listen to stories. You build that rapport at the very beginning by listening. People are impressed with listeners. You know, and I think pastors, we just love to pontificate at the mouth, right? And we just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And pastors, we love to hear our own voices. But we gain a lot of respect with people when we genuinely listen.